Imagine spending 302 days underground, hiding from a deadly virus that turns people into monsters the moment they lose control. A family of three survives in silence, believing the outside world is filled with terrifying creatures called breathers. But what if everything they feared was actually a lie? In today's recap, we dive deep into the 2015 psychological horror thriller Hidden, a gripping story of survival, sacrifice, and a shocking twist that will change everything you thought you knew. So, let's dive into the main video. The film begins with a scene inside a nuclear bunker where a family of three has been hiding for 301 days. Ray and Claire tell their daughter Zoe to follow only two rules: stay quiet at all times and never leave the bunker. A deadly virus has devastated the outside world. Only a few people survived, including this family. The virus transforms humans into dangerous creatures known as breathers. These creatures will kill any human they see. Ray and Claire notice their neighbors leaving town in a hurry 301 days ago. When they ask what's going on, no one explains, and everyone rushes out. They soon learn that a rapidly spreading virus has infected their town, Thingsville. People panic and rush to the highway to escape. However, police have blocked the roads and placed the area under lockdown. Suddenly, fighter jets start bombing the city, causing chaos. Ray quickly gets his family to a school. They enter an underground shelter just as the bombs begin to fall. In the present day, Zoe awakens from a terrifying nightmare in which the breathers break into the bunker. Her mother, Claire, comforts her and assures her that they are safe. She explains that Ray is outside keeping watch. When Ray returns, he reassures Zoe, but she remains scared. She climbs the stairs to check the bunker's door. She is relieved to see that it is securely locked with strong iron chains. She heads to the kitchen where her parents are. Claire and Zoe draw a line on the wall, as they do every day, to mark another day inside the bunker. Now it's been 302 days. Zoe is sad and lonely because there are no other kids her age to talk to. She is tired of being in such a quiet and dark place. They all sit down to eat, but discover that their food containers are empty. A rat got in and ate all of their stored food. They believe the rat came through the air duct. Zoe becomes concerned when she hears this because if a rat can enter, the breathers may as well. Her parents calm her down by explaining that the breathers are too large to fit through the ducts. They try to survive on only a few peas because the majority of their food has been consumed. Zoe, tired of her hard life, begins to complain. She claims her parents have locked her inside the bunker and she wishes to go outside. Ray gently explains that staying inside is the only way to avoid the breathers. He even tells her jokes to get her laughing. Claire spends the night playing Ludo with Zoe to cheer her up, but she quickly becomes bored. Claire gives Zoe a telescope so she can look outside. Zoe sees only destruction everywhere. After seeing this, she quietly returns to play Ludo with her mother. While playing, they notice the same rat stealing food again. They wake Ray up and plan to catch it. After a long chase, Claire finally kills the rat. However, during the fight, the rat knocks over a clamp, igniting a fire in their room. Claire tries to extinguish the fire with a cloth before quickly opening the water pipe. Even after a lot of effort, no water comes out, and the fire grows larger. Claire begins shouting for help. Finally, water comes out of the pipe, allowing them to extinguish the fire. But there's a big problem. The smoke from the fire rises through the air duct and reaches the ground. They realized the rising smoke could alert the breathers. They quickly decided to go outside and inspect the air duct. Claire asks Zoe to stay inside while she and Ray go out. Zoe watches them through a small window. Suddenly, she notices a strange shadow following them. She believes the breathers have seen her parents. Zoe begins shouting to warn them, but they are too far away to hear her. So she defies the rules and runs outside the bunker. She rushes toward her parents, shouting their names, but she sees no one nearby. She keeps shouting and searching. Claire suddenly appears behind her, covering her mouth. Zoe informs her about the shadow she saw. It turned out that the shadow was just a deer. To ensure their safety, all three quickly return to the bunker. As soon as they step inside, they hear the footsteps of the breathers above them. When the sounds fade away, Zoe's doll becomes stuck, and the string produces loud music. Ray panics and grabs the doll, breaking it to silence the noise. But it's too late. The breathers hear the sound and begin attacking the bunker's door. They pull on the chains, and one by one, they start to break. Ray and Claire race up the stairs to stop them. For a moment, it appears that the door will open, but they manage to keep the breathers out. They believe the danger is over, but they are mistaken. The breathers have returned, and this time they are more aggressive. Before the family can react, the breathers break down the iron door. One of them falls into the bunker. Scared, the three of them rush into another room. They start a fire to block the path and decide to flee via the air duct. Claire climbs the pipe and emerges with Ray's assistance. She looks around and notices no breathers outside, which is reassuring. Ray quickly assists Zoe in climbing out next, but when he tries to get out himself, he gets stuck in the narrow pipe. While attempting to fit through, he dislocates his shoulder. Before he can flee, the breathers approach and pull him down. Claire and Zoe notice blood splashing following a loud scream. Ray's gone. The mother and daughter are heartbroken. They quickly start running toward the highway in order to save their lives. A helicopter appears in the sky, shining a bright spotlight. Claire and Zoe, terrified, run in the opposite direction to avoid it. However, they are soon apprehended and trapped in a net. They attempt to flee, but are quickly surrounded by shadowy figures known as breathers. Then it is revealed they are not monsters, but rather American soldiers wearing protective face masks. Suddenly, the story shifts back in time. Claire noticed a black patch on one of the family members' bodies when they first entered the bunker following the bombing. It clearly indicated that the virus had entered. This virus spreads quickly, so the entire city is infected. Back in the present, the soldiers take Claire and Zoe for blood tests. The test results indicate that both of them are infected. When the soldiers notice this, they point their guns at them, ready to shoot. However, before they can fire, a terrifying creature with bloody red eyes and black veins attacks them. This monster with superhuman abilities turns out to be Ray. He kills a few soldiers, but is ultimately shot down. Now, the truth about the virus is revealed. Their own family had been infected all along. They had always assumed that the people outside were dangerous, but the breathers were simply ordinary soldiers attempting to protect the innocent. Infected people can lead normal lives if they remain calm. That's why Ray and Claire always tell Zoe to be quiet. If an infected person experiences intense anger or fear, they lose control of their minds and become violent monsters. This is why the army has been ordered to kill all infected people. After killing Ray, they turn to face them. However, Claire and Zoe had already escaped. Zoe hides in a vehicle as her mother transforms into a vampire-like creature. She easily kills 3 soldiers, but the last soldier shoots her. As the soldier prepares to kill Claire, Zoe loses control when she sees her mother die. She attacks the soldier, make him infected, tearing him apart and nearly killing him. But Claire stops her and says that living this cursed life is the worst punishment she can receive. Finally, they both reach Ray, who is dying. They cry as they say their goodbyes. Moments later, they notice another helicopter approaching. They quickly flee and hide in an underground tunnel. Inside the tunnel, they meet their neighbor's son, Sam, who they saw fleeing when the virus first spread. He leads them to the underground sewage system where other infected people are hiding. These people have lived there for several months. Claire and Zoe eventually meet other people who share their interests and decide to stay. Finally, Claire closes the tunnel door behind them and looks at the sun with blood-red eyes. By this, the movie ends in here. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.